You mentioned the strategy of rent to rent as a transformative approach. Could you explain the concept for our listeners and how it can be a game changer for those looking to invest in property?
Yeah. And you do this as well, don't you, Rahim?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So rent to rent is like buy to let, but buy to let you have to pay 50,000 pounds, possibly more for the deposit and what other buying costs, maybe refurbishment to buy a property, and then at the end of it you make 200, 300 pounds a month.
Yeah.
So with rent to rent, it's very similar to buy to let, except you rent the property to rent it out again. So you only need sometimes nothing at all, sometimes a few £100, sometimes a bit more, but you need a small amount of money. And from every property that you do, you make over £500 a month. Some of our properties make over £1,000 a month. So you only need a small number of properties. And there's two main ways to do rent to rent. One is to rent properties out by the room, like an HMO, house of multiple occupation.
Yeah.
Student let, where everybody's got, although we do it with professionals, but it's like a student let, where everybody has their own bedroom and then they share a kitchen, and sometimes they might have their own bathroom or they might share bathrooms. But on those properties, you're renting it out individually by the room. You're using existing HMOs, so they're already set up this way, and it's a way for you to be able to make money without needing to buy the property.
Well, I think that is a really good strategy, because to be honest with you, that's the strategy that got me started in the first place. As I said, when you start, you always got these people telling you can't do it. I was told I need 200,000, 300,000 to start in my property investment journey. I was thinking, how much money how many years do I have to save to get even £50,000? But obviously, I bumped into rent to rent. When I saw it, I thought it was too good to be true. But you're absolutely right. It's a strategy that would really, anybody can do it, basically. You know, anybody can do it who's got the right frame of mind, the right mentor coach to guide them. It's one of the best ways to start your investment journey, because that's what I was able to use as a starting point to get me to start investing, buying my own properties, and having an estate agency and a renovation company. So I really, really relate to that. Literally, I love that strategy. So thanks for sharing that with me. Your journey is very inspiring. What motivated you to shift from 9-to-5 job to property investment, and how has that changed your life?
Yeah. Oh gosh, how's that changed my life? It's just changed everything. I was just a person who was going to work and, living life outside, thinking that was it. But now we've built up our own rent to rent portfolio. We've got a team in who manage those properties. We bought a property portfolio because there's lots of different ways to use other people's money, OPM.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different ways to use OPM, but also we've got our own cash flowing business as well. So we can use our own money and other people's money. And we bought a portfolio of properties, mainly blocks of flats. So some of them were blocks of flats where we bought an office and converted it into 4 flats. We've got a big house that we converted into 4 flats. And we've got a block of 12 flats that we converted. Sorry, it was already converted, but we'd done them up. And when you convert the blocks of flats, you increase the value.
Yeah.
Because they're on a commercial valuation that's based on the rental income. So when we bought the block of flats, it had a rental income of £44,000. And the valuation was 440k, but we got it for £375,000. And now the same property, the rental income is £66,000.
Wow.
And the valuation is 660,000. And we're in Wales, like you, so properties don't go up usually that quickly. So it's an incredible strategy. And to think I would be here, on a podcast or anywhere talking about owning this property or these properties, it still blows my mind, because what I want people to understand who are listening is it's only a few years ago, that we were just starting out, not long before we met you.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. So, what advice would you give to someone from a Black or ethnic minority background who is interested in property investment but might feel intimidated,
Yeah.
either because they don't see that type of people in it, or
Yes.
financial, or the knowledge barriers?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's one thing that is totally for sure. There is discrimination. There are people who do not want you to succeed. That is absolutely a fact. What I say to you is do not be one of them. Do not be one of the people who don't want you to succeed. Do not count yourself out before you even start, because you can succeed. And all of those people who thought you couldn't do it, you could laugh in their face. But do not let what you think other people think stop you from taking the actions, because the simple steps that you see Rahim's taking, you see me taking, you see other people in the community taking, these are the same simple steps that you can take, and you can absolutely have the success that you want. And I even go further than that and say you will be surprised by the success that you have, because you might just think that you want to just buy your own small portfolio, start off in rent to rent, buy your own small portfolio, and then you end up doing something much bigger than that.
Absolutely. You also get me thinking here. When before I started my property investment journey, I had these barriers as a beginner, thinking, "Oh, I wasn't born in this country.
Yeah.
People don't understand my accent,
Yes.
and plus I'm young, I'm Black from London.
Yes.
Who the hell is going to give me their property?" So I had that barrier, that I thought was one of the biggest barriers ever, and that had stopped me from investing, thinking, I'm an accountant. I was born to be an accountant. Just stay where you are, get comfortable there. Because I kept having these barriers, these obstacle of not being able to be understood if I approach landlords. But I was thinking they're all British, they're all English, and they wouldn't understand me, stuff like that. But the thing that really helps me overcome that obstacle is, again, you've said this already, is by looking at videos, YouTube, reading books like yours, and things like that, and looking at the people that got the same color skin as me, and even accent, similar accents to me as well, and start looking at athletes like Mo Farah, Usain Bolt. I'm thinking these guys can do it. I can absolutely do it in a smaller scale. So I can see how some beginners would struggle, but it's about just going through your fear. If you're looking to do it, go through it. The only way you can conquer fear is going through it. And I'm not here to say it's easy, right? It's hard work, but with consistency, perseverance, and commitment, getting someone to guide you along the way, it would only make you stronger and better. So thank you for sharing that with us.